Hey, what's going on, guys? Much like TCG here, and I'm going to be starting a little mini-series for the next couple days or two featuring just some decks I played throughout the season as the 2018-2019 season's coming to an end and we're losing a bunch of cards with the rotation today. I thought I'd feature some of my favorite decks I played throughout the season. So, first I'm going to be showing off my Weezing Tapu Koko build that it's actually not my list. It's actually my friend Tristan Lackey, who is going to play in Worlds this weekend, and I'm wishing him luck. I'm rooting for him. And he played this deck a ton on stream, and I'm like, hey, I like this deck. I'm going to play it too. So he didn't believe in the deck as much as I did, or he believed in it, but not as much as I did. And he wouldn't play it at tournaments where I saw faith in it. And so with this deck, I have gotten 2 top 4s at Cups, and I have won 3 challenges with this exact 60. I've thought about other things in it, but I like the way it worked right now. So let's go ahead and get into the list. First, I play 4 Coughing, 4 Weezing, and what Weezing does is for 1 DCE, it reads Splattering Sludge. This attack does 20 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon that already have any damage counters on them, and you don't apply weakness and resistance. And he also has the ability where for each it reads, as long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, put 1 damage on each of your opponent's basic bench Pokemon, which is super good. Spread is just one of the best archetypes that was in the 2018-2019 season. And something else that's super important, that if you're stalling, like if you only have 1 counter energy attached in turn 1 and you're going second and you can't attack, you can use Coughing's Foul Odor, which just makes you both active Pokemon confused. So if they got a Reshizard in the active with 3 fire energy ready to bop you, you can just say Foul Odor and make them have to Guzma around it or just try and go for the attack. And so we also play a bunch of support Pokemon. So we play 2 Tapu Koko with Flying Flips. So say if they have an Inkay in the active and you can't get damage on it and it evolves into a Malamar, you can't use Weezing's Detention Gas. So Tapu Koko is really good about just getting that basic start damage on the field, to where if they evolve, they'll still have damage on them when they evolve. So that you're getting the bench damage as well. Next, we play probably the worst card that was in the standard format, just because of how horrible it is, but how yet good it is. It's a card you want to play, but you don't want to play it against you, and that's My Shadow Let Loose. And for Let Loose, what it says is you and your opponent both shuffle their hands into their deck and draw 4 cards. So say you're going first, 1 Let Loose, they both shuffle up their hands, they draw 4 energy, they're just going to have to draw path. So very good card, yet very horrible card. And now we play a bunch of different one-ofs in the deck, and I'll go over each of them. So Mew has pretty much bench barrier from the old Mr. Mime. Prevent all damage done to yours and prevent all damage done to your bench Pokemon by your opponent's attacks, which is super good. Say if you're playing in the mirror, playing against Pikarom, just protecting your bench so that you're not getting. Say if you only have 2 Weezings in the field, you're not getting both of them knocked out. Next, we play 1 Mimikyu with the attack Copycat. Oh, also, Psywave on Mew. Put 3 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon any way you like. It's also super good for just spreading damage if they have a Reshizard with 10 HP left and they retreat and you don't have a Weezing in the active or don't have a Shrine. You can just go Psy Power for the bench snipe and you can put 20 damage anywhere else. Our next one is Mimikyu for Copycat. You mainly play this for Reshizard as well as you could also play Frost Rotom, which one of my friends played in Weezing, which I didn't like as much. But what Copycat does is if your opponent's Pokemon used an attack on you last turn that wasn't a GX attack, you can use that attack as this attack. So say Reshizard has 40 damage on it already. You can send up a Mimikyu and use its second attack, which I can't remember at the moment. That does 230 and you can't attack next turn. You can attach a counter energy, send up Mimikyu, and use it, and you'll be taking 3 prizes where they're only taking 1 for using a 230 attack for 1 energy. Next, we play Larvitar. And what Larvitar does is, for second bite, if your opponent's active Pokemon already has 3 or more damage counters on it, this attack does 70 or more damage. So what you want to do is get 30 damage on it. You just want to get a little bit of damage on it. And then this is played for the Pikarom matchup. So Pikarom has like 70 damage on it. You can send, or 60 damage, sorry. If it has 60 damage on it already, you can send up a Larvitar, attach DC, or a counter energy, and just second strike, taking 3 prizes with a 1 prize attacker. And next, we don't really have, we do have draw, but we have, just for one of our bench sitters, we have Oranguru with the ability Instruct. For once during your turn, you may draw up to until you have 3 cards in your hand. So if you're sitting at, like, if you have 1 Nest Ball in hand and nothing else, you can Nest Ball for Oranguru, bench Oranguru, Instruct for 3 and get 3 new cards, which is super good. And he also has, you're not going to be using it much, but if you're desperate, you can use Psychic. This attack does 20 more damage times the amount of energy attached to yours and your, I'm sorry, this attack does 20 damage times the amount of energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon, which you could use with a 60 base, but it's not the best for attacking wise. You have many other ways of attacking if you need to. Probably my favorite card in the deck, because of its surprise factor, is Tapu Lele. And Tapu Lele is such an important card in this deck. Tapu Lele, the important attack is Magical Swap. Move any number of damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon to their other Pokemon in any way you like. So pretty much if you have 2 Pikaroms on the bench with 230 damage on them left, and you don't have that 10, and you have like a Zeraora with 20 damage on it, you can move the 20 off the Zeraora and put 10 on each Pikarom. And so, like, if you just have a ton of damage anywhere, and they have a big lead, and it doesn't look like you can come back and win, you can play this surprise factor, put Lele down, counter energy, retreat, and just say Magical Swap for game. And this will be the way you win most games. It's just so important. And that wraps up the Pokemon. Some other Pokemon that I've seen that I don't really agree with, but I also could see work, are playing a 1/1 Blitzel Zebstrika and a 1/1, or not 1/1, a 1/1 Frost Rotom. And I'm going to go a bit faster, so just playing the vanilla supporters for Cynthia, for Lily. These are just your ways to draw. It's super important, super crucial. Without Via Seeker in this format, you just had to have a ton of ways of drawing cards. And what Cynthia does is, if you don't know, shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 6 cards. So if you have a hand of 1, you can Cynthia pretty much draw 6 fresh cards. And same with Lily. Lily's your optimal turn 1 supporter. Draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand. But if it's the first turn of the game, you can draw until you have 8 cards. So it can be, have a hand of like 2 or 3 cards, you can literally draw like 5 or 6. Super busted. And then you have Guzma. So Guzma lets you switch your active with one of your bench Pokemon and switch your opponent's active with one of their bench Pokemon. So if you just want to strand something in the active while you have detention gas ticks going and just putting more damage on the field everywhere, this is what you want to use, just to get like an Oranguru stuck in the active and make them have to attach a DCE, or just attach or bring up Tapu Lele's or Dedene's. And we play our one last supporter is Erica's Hospitality. I didn't know how I felt about this card. I often found myself just mysterious treasuring it away or just getting rid of it. But it does come in clutch when you need it to if you don't have the Lily for drawing cards. And next we have our Pokemon Search. We have 4 Mysterious Treasure, 4 Nest Ball, and 2 Rescue Stretcher. And what Mysterious these are just all ways of getting rid of your basics, getting your basics out on the field turn 1. So one of the combos I like to do most would be Mysterious Treasure away like a coughing, grab a second coughing to have 2 coughings on the field, and then Rescue Stretching back in a coughing, so I would have 3 coughings on the field at the end of it. And Nest Ball is just super good. The only thing it doesn't grab you in your deck is Weezings, and every other Pokemon you can grab, which is super good. And Mysterious Treasures are one way of finding Weezings. Some people played Ultra Ball, but I just felt like there was too many cards you didn't want to get rid of through Ultra Ball that you couldn't afford to lose. And so we focus on putting a bunch of damage on the field. And so we play 4 Spell Tag, and what Spell Tag does is if a Psychic Pokemon gets knocked out, you can put 4 damage counters anywhere on the field. So, as well as doing your attacks and saying you're still low on HP, you can use Spell Tag to get the last, like after the Shrine Ticks and the Detention Gases, it just helps with numbers for getting crucial knockouts. We play 3 Pokegear, just simple cards, look at the top 7 cards to find your supporters. If you don't have a supporter in hand, this is 3 more outs for a supporter. And we don't play that much energy, so we play 2 Energy Lotto. Same thing as Pokegear. Look at the top 7, grab any energy you find there. It's 2 more search for your energy. And we play 1 Field Blower. And what Field Blower does is choose any combination. Choose up to 2 in any combination of Pokemon Tool cards and Stadium cards in play. So if they have that's not the best way of using it, but if there's a Jirachi on the field with an escape board, you can Field Blower away the escape boards and bring it stuck in the active for potentially 1 turn. You normally take pretty fast knockouts on Jirachis, but it's helpful when it needs to be. And then we got 3 Shrine of Punishment. And this is probably my favorite stadium in Standard, last format, and this upcoming format. Between turns, put 1 damage counter on each Pokemon GX and EX, both yours and your opponent's. So, pretty much what you can do in between turns, if you have a Weezing in the active and you attack, you're already doing 40 damage with Splattering Sludge, then you're going to be doing 10 with Shrine and 10 with the ability. So that's 60 per turn, and then you're still doing 20 with the ability. If it's a basic GX, you're still doing 20 to each of the bench Pokemon, as well as the 20 with the attack. And to round out the deck, it's going to be our energies. We got 4 DCE and 4 counter energy. Our DCE is just the best energy to use. It's 2 colorless attacks, so you want to use DCE and you want to use counter energy. Counter energy is super crucial. I can't say that word. Crucial for your Tapu Lele, your Mimikyu. If you're that desperate, you could use Shadow Punch with Marshadow. And that's just all around 8 energy. So that's going to be it for today's video. That was my Weezing Coco. If I remember correctly, I've got around 200 CP in between seasons with this deck. It's my favorite deck. I think, let me know in the comments what decks you guys want me to play next or do a deck profile for. I already have one in mind I'm going to do next. That was probably the other deck I played most during this format. And then I'll start posting post-rotation decks. Alright, that's going to be it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.